So today we're going to do a lab called the Preparing an Alloy Lab. We're going to use a penny and change it into something that's going to look oh so much more valuable. If we look at our equipment here today, we have a ring stand. On the ring stand, of course, we've got the metal pole. Attached to the metal pole, then we have the ring, something we call a wire gauze that will act as a platform then for what we are doing. On the wire gauze, we'll put our evaporating dish. We have our Bunsen burner. We have a few other tools that we'll be using. We got a tongs that we'll be using in different situations. I got a tweezers and a little scoopula just to help me grab hold of some things in the process. Now we have a couple of chemicals that we need to talk about quickly. We have some hydrochloric acid. This happens to be what we call 6-molar hydrochloric acid. It's pretty concentrated, so I have diluted it. And the diluted version is here. But that's going to be used to clean the penny. Okay, we're going to use this to clean the penny, get any of that, even the invisible oils and things from our fingers that are on there that you might not otherwise see. Next chemical that we have here is going to be our sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide, both sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid are very corrosive materials, which means that they will eat away. They'll eat away at your skin, and so we need to be careful handling them. Obviously, I'm wearing safety goggles today. I want to make sure that we're good and safe. So I'm going to add. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off my pennies here. I've got 2 pennies that I'll be placing in the hydrochloric acid. When I do this, I try to make sure I don't splash and drop them, and have any come up and hit me in the hand. We'll let those sit there for just about 30 seconds is all we need. The last chemical that we'll be using today is called zinc. Zinc is going to be what we're going to initially coat our materials in. So we've been in there. Here's where the scoopula could come in handy, just to help grab hold of the pennies, because sometimes they're a little stubborn, as this one is. Bottom of the little bit of a funny shape. Maybe I'll go ahead and use the tongs. That might work a little bit better here. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off. Just a little tap water. Once I rinse it off, I can handle it again. Grab my second one. Just rinsing in a little tap water, clean it off. I will drop that then in my evaporating dish. Now to my evaporating dish, I'm going to add my zinc. Zinc is kind of this pretty shiny silver colored material. Get some in there, and then to that I will add my sodium hydroxide solution. Once I've done that, it's time to light up my Bunsen burner. Turn the gas so that the handle is coming straight out with the nozzle. We'll light her up, and then we're going to let her cook for a bit. Now, how long it takes going to depend. It's going to take probably a few minutes, but in the meantime, we'll try to talk to you a little bit about the process that's going on. As we do this, what's going to happen is we're going to be coating the penny. We're going to do it's a process we call zinc plating. I'm going to actually move this other camera a little closer so we can look inside there. So we're going to plate the penny in zinc. Like I said, it'll take a few minutes in the process, but we use zinc plating for a number of purposes. Oftentimes, it's used like on nails to help prevent rust from happening with the iron. But I'm just going to bury the pennies in the zinc here, let it go. We'll bring it to a boil. We want it to boil gently. In the meantime, I'll talk a little bit more about my chemicals. The hydrochloric acid, a real strong acid. Again, highly corrosive material. Something that we need to handle with care. It's you actually have a little bit in your stomach. I think we mentioned this earlier this year, maybe. It helps with digestion, but it's used in industry in a lot of the really important purposes. Sodium hydroxide, also, as we mentioned, real corrosive material, like active ingredient in some things like liquid plumber and Drano and drain cleaners that are supposed to be corrosive. They're intended to be corrosive in order to eat away at things and to clean things out. Now, as we look inside at our pennies, we're looking to see the color change happen. We're starting to see a little bit there, but it's going to be a minute. It hasn't even started boiling yet. Now, one thing that as this cooks that we do want to be careful of, and that is there are going to be some fumes. When it starts to boil, there are going to be some fumes coming out of there that are really pretty irritating. And it's not necessarily a strong odor that you're smelling, but if some of those fumes get in there, those vapors get into your nasal passages, they will tend to make you cough and uncomfortable. So I'm going to try to avoid putting my head directly over the top too much, especially once she starts boiling. But as the process goes, we're looking for that penny to turn silver, to turn a silver color. We're almost to a boil now. But in order for that zinc plating to happen, it needs a little bit of that extra energy. Go ahead and bury it up here. One of the common mistakes that people will make in this activity is they'll see it turn a little bit silver and they'll get a little anxious and they'll want to take it out right away because they get excited. So we want to be kind of patient with this. Because if I start looking, it's probably going to see that it's certainly getting to that silver color. But I want it to really be coated well. Otherwise, if I take it out too soon, it's going to just kind of wash away a little bit, and I don't get the full good result. Got a nice boil going now. Let it go here for just a minute more. I think, like I said, I think we're probably getting pretty close. Let's take a little look-see at what's happening. That's looking pretty good. I think we'll leave it on in for just another minute. Both of them you see have now turned a nice silver color. And just for good measure, just because I want to Make sure they're coated really well. Just give it a few more seconds in the process. Now, once I'm done with that, I'll want to rinse it off again. I'm going to rinse off my penny. Why don't we go ahead and grab hold of one of them? Just going to get any excess zinc off there that I can. I'm going to rinse it off briefly. Looks pretty good. Just going to rinse it in a little water here. Now, if I look at it already, it maybe has lost a little bit of its silver tone. What that's telling me is maybe I should leave it in for another minute. So let's do that because I want a good result. Let it cook just a hair longer. See how the other one's looking. Looking pretty good. Maybe we'll go rinse on this one, see what happens. This one's looking a little bit better. So this next step is a critical one, a little bit tricky. Here's where I'm going to take the Bunsen burner. I'm going to actually hold this silver penny inside the Bunsen burner flame, but I got to watch it really closely because I don't want it to melt, because it will melt if I'm not careful. I'm looking for is I want it to do this just until she changes color, which she's done now. And now I've changed my copper penny to silver and now to gold. I don't know how well you can see the colors there, but I now have a gold penny that I can take with me. When it's really hot like this, sometimes I can just rinse it off. Gives a nice little So now I've got myself a gold penny to take home with me. Unfortunately, it's not any more valuable than the previous penny, but it sure looks cool. And then I'm going to leave this other one. I'm just going to leave this other one silver. So I have, once I've cooled it off, I can touch it again. I'll rinse this off. And I've got myself a nice one silver and one gold penny to take home with me. Nice little souvenir.